Good morning and welcome to our podcast, Daily Scriptures. This is February 13th. Then Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood. 2.5 cubits was its length, 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. He overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and made a molding of gold all around it. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold to be set in the 4 corners, 2 rings on one side, 2 rings on the other side. He made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. And he put poles into the rings of the sides of the ark to bear the ark. He also made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits was its width. He made 2 cherubim of beaten gold. He made them of one piece at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. One cherub at one end of this seat, and the other cherub at the other end on that side. He made the cherubim at the 2 ends of one piece with the mercy seat. The cherubim spread out their wings above and covered the mercy seat with their wings. They faced one another. The faces of the cherubim were toward the mercy seat. He made the table of acacia wood. 2 cubits was its length, and 1 cubit its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. He overlaid it with pure gold and made a molding of gold all around it. Also he made a frame of a handbreadth all around it, and made a molding of gold for the frame all around it. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings on the 4 corners that were at its 4 legs. The rings were close to the frame, as holders for the poles, to bear the table. And he made the poles of acacia wood to bear the table, and overlaid them with gold. And he made of pure gold the utensils which were on the table, its dishes, its cups, its bowls, and its pitchers for pouring. He also made the lampstand of pure gold. Of hammered work he made the lampstand. Its shaft, its branches, its bowls, its ornamental knobs, and its flowers were of the same piece. And 6 branches came out of its sides, 3 branches of the lampstand out of one side, and 3 branches of the lampstand on the other side. There were 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on one branch, and an ornamental knob and a flower. 3 bowls made like almond blossoms on the other branch, with an ornamental knob and a flower. And so for the 6 branches coming out of the lampstand, and on the lampstand itself were 4 bowls made like almond blossoms, each with its ornamental knob and flower. And there was a knob under the first 2 branches of the side, and a knob under the second 2 branches of the same, and a knob under the third 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches extending from it. Their knobs and their branches were of one piece. All of it was one hammered piece of pure gold. And he made its 7 lampstands, its wick trimmers, and its trays of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold he made it, with all of its utensils. And he made the incense altar of acacia wood. Its length was 1 cubit, and its width 1 cubit. It was square, and 2 cubits was its height. Its horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with pure gold. Its top, its sides all around, and its horns. He also made for it a molding of gold all around it, and he made 2 rings of gold, for it was under its molding, and by its 2 corners on both sides, as holders for the poles which would bear it. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He also made the holy anointing oil and pure incense of sweet spices according to the work of the perfumer. He made the altar of burnt offering of acacia wood. 5 cubits was its length, and 5 cubits its width, and it was square, and its length was 3 cubits. He made 2 horns on its 4 corners, and the horns were of one piece from it, or with it. And he overlaid it with bronze. And he made all the utensils for the altar, the pans, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. All its utensils he made of bronze. And he made a grate of bronze bronze network for the altar, under its rim, midway from the bottom. He cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of the bronze grating, as holders for the poles. And he made the poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with bronze. Then he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar, with which to bear it, and he made the altar hollow with boards. He made the laver of bronze and its base of bronze, from the bronze mirrors of the serving women who assembled at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then he made the court on the south side. The hangings of the court were of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long. There were 20 pillars for them, with 20 bronze sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. On the north side of the hangings were the 100 cubits long, with the 20 pillars and their 20 bronze sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. And on the west side there were hangings of 50 cubits, with 10 pillars and their 10 sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. For the east side of the hangings were 50 cubits, and the hangings of one side of the gate were 15 cubits long, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. And the same for the other side of the court gate, and on this side and that were hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. And all the hangings of the court all around were of fine woven linen. The sockets for the pillars were bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver, and the overlay of their capitals was silver. And all the pillars of the court had bands of silver. The screen for the gate of the court was woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and of fine woven linen. The scarlet thread and the length was 20 cubits, and the height along its width was 5 cubits, corresponding to the hangings of the court. And there were 4 pillars with their 4 sockets of bronze. Their hooks were silver, and the overlay of their capitals and their bands were silver. All the pegs of the tabernacle and of the court all around were bronze. This is the inventory of the tabernacle of the testimony, which was counted according to the commandment of Moses, for the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Bezalel the son of Uri, the son of Hur, in the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord had commanded Moses, and with him was Ahalub, the son of Esabmach, the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer, a weaver of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and the fine linen. All the gold that was used in all the body of the holy place, that is, the gold and the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver from those who were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekah for each man, that is half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone included in the numbering from 20 years old and above, for 630,550 men. And from the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary and the bases of the veil, 100 sockets from the 100 talents, 1 talent for each socket. Then from the 1,775 shekels he made hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made bands for them. The offering of bronze was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. And with it he made the sockets for the door of the tabernacle, for the tabernacle of meeting, the bronze altar, the bronze grating for it, the utensils of the for the altar, the sockets for the court all around, the bases for the court gate, and all the pegs for the tabernacle, and all the pegs for the court all around. Psalms 29, 9 through 15. 22, 9 through 15. But you are he who took me out of the womb. You made me trust while I was on my mother's breast. I was cast upon you from birth. From my mother's womb you have been my God. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, and there is none to help. Many bulls have surrounded me. Strong bulls from Bashan have encircled me. They gape at me with their mouths, like a raging and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It has melted within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd. My tongue clings to my jaws. And you have brought me to the dust of death. Proverbs 8, 12 through 21. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance and the evil way, and the perverse mouth I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me, kings reign, and rulers decree justice. By me, princes rule, and nobles, and all judges of the earth. I have those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring riches and righteousness. My faith is better than gold, yes, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I traverse the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of justice, that I may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I may fill their treasuries. Matthew 26, 51 to 75. And suddenly one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword, struck the servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. But Jesus said to him, Put your sword in its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Or do you think that I cannot now pray for my Father, and he will provide me with more than 12 legions of angels? How then could the scriptures be fulfilled, that this must happen thus? In that hour Jesus said to the multitudes, Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you did not seize me. But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. And those who had laid hold of Jesus led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him at a distance to the high priest's courtyard, and he went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests, the elders, and all the council sought false testimony against Jesus to put him to death, but found none. Even though many false witnesses came forward, they found none. Or they came forward and said, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and build it in 3 days." And the high priest rose and said to him, "Do you answer nothing? What is it with these men testify against you?" But Jesus kept silent. And the high priest answered and said to him, "I put you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God." And Jesus said to him, "Is it as you said? It is as you said. Nevertheless, I say to you, hereafter you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power, and coming on the clouds of heaven." Then the high priest tore his clothes, saying, "He has spoken blasphemy. What further do we have of witnesses? Look now, you have heard his blasphemy. What do you think?" They answered and said, "He is deserving death." Then they spat in his face and beat him, and others struck him with the palm of their hands, saying, "Prophesy to us, Christ. Who is the one who struck you?" Now Peter sat outside the courtyard, and the servant girl came to him, saying, "You also were with Jesus of Galilee." And he denied it before them all, saying, "I do not know what you are saying." And when he had gone out to the gateway, another girl saw him and said to those who were there, "This fellow also was with Jesus of Nazareth." But again he denied with an oath, "I do not know the man." And a little later those who stood came up and said to Peter, "Surely you also are one of them, for your speech betrays you." Then he began to curse and swear, saying, "I do not know the man." Immediately a rooster crowed, and Peter remembered the word of Jesus, who had said to him, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." So he went out and wept bitterly. Thank you all for being with us. I'm Evangelist Wally Beck, and my wife and I try to bring this to you every day. We want to again let you know that our email address is evangelistwallybeck@gmail.com, and our phone number is 501-431-1007. You're invited to write, email, call, or text. We thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.